this concept of the way in which human beings were created, as the Torah presents it in the first chapter of Genesis, is very clear in presenting that there is only one human being that is created, or only one human pair that is created. So that differentiating between Aryans and non-Aryans, or Jews and non-Jews, is not in accordance with the way in which the Torah looks at it. So then you have to square, this is the next problem, square this with the idea of Jews being the chosen people. And that's where you can get into trouble, because it depends on how you define that term. And I think that in the tshuva I do go out of my way to try to show how I would see that playing out. Whereas some Jewish philosophers look at it differently, and especially Jewish mysticism looks at it somewhat differently, and they take the idea of the chosen people as if it means that there is some inherent supremacy in Judaism, that the Jews are different than non-Jews. We are created different they are. We are higher than they are. We have a soul and they don't have a soul. Or they don't have the same kind of a soul. We have a good soul, they have a bad soul, and we have to reject that. I mean, that may be there. Even Yehuda Halevi may have taught it, and everybody loves his poetry, but you don't have to love his philosophy. And on the contrary, my feeling is that especially today, and this period of Yom HaShoah strengthens it very much. That especially after what we went through as a people in the Shoah, there's no way that we can possibly feel that it is proper to say that one race or one group is superior to another. We know what it leads to. We've suffered it, and therefore we, especially in our time, we have the duty of making sure that we don't fall into that same trap. The Kabbalah is the source, the Zohar, more than any other place, is the source of this idea that the Jewish soul is superior to the non-Jewish soul. But you won't find that in the Torah. You could wherever you look, you won't find it. And you might find it in something similar. There's little statements in the rabbinic sources. For example, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says that he makes this statement. It's just one small statement, but it's been taken and blown out of all proportion. He says, "You are called human, and other people are not called human, and others are not called human." And that was his philosophy. And the Zohar makes a whole big thing of it. And the Tanya, which is the source book for Khabad, goes into detail on this. And that's where this guy Ginsburg, for example, gets his idea. He is a Chabad rabbi, and he bases himself on what the Tanya has and on what the Zohar has to say. And he very specifically, therefore, says the non-Jew is inferior to the Jew. And once you've said that, as far as I'm concerned, you are a racist no matter what you're going to do, and that we can't afford that. Ginsburg didn't write the book Torah HaMelech, but his students did, and he wrote what's called the Haskama to it, where he tells his whole philosophy and why he agrees with everything that's written in this book. And this book comes out by the whole question that the book is dealing with is killing non-Jews. Is this permitted? Is it not permitted? Under what conditions is it permitted? And if you read this book, it's just frightening, because they're bringing in all kinds of Jewish sources in order to prove that it's okay to kill non-Jews. Especially they're focusing on Arabs. But it's okay to kill them, and it's okay to kill their children. It's okay to kill infants because they're going to grow up to be terrorists, and so on and so forth. Okay. So then you've got what's going on. Then you have people, unfortunately, in this country who've actually done that kind of thing and were influenced by this kind of a writing.